Alright, we're moving on to setting up givers, and again, just like we did up here in the funds, this table right here is where all the givers are set up. It should be no consequence to the user, but just for your information, the first 26 givers are kept track of in this giving records number 1 tab. Givers 27 through 52 are kept track of in giving records 2 tab, and 53 through 78 are in giving records number 3 tab. Now hopefully this all works smooth enough so that's of no concern, but just for your information. Okay, so what you want to do is add your names into this list here, and you can choose whether you want to have the last name first or first name first, because it does sort it for this drop down box here, and it will simply sort it according to whatever the first letters are that you put down. So I don't, for most small churches, I think first name sorting is probably plenty adequate. So let's put a couple people that we might like to have paying tithe in our church. How about Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey. Okay, those are tithe payers, right? Okay, and then we've got of course, people like John Doe and Sue Anderson. Oops. And maybe Mary Williams and E. Garcia. Okay, so you can see I've just put these in not necessarily in alphabetical order, and if I went up here and looked, yeah, they're not too terribly hard to find, but they're not in alphabetical order. So let's resort the list for this here. Hit the resort button here, and it'll tell me that it's going to sort, and I hit OK, and it herks and jerks a little bit, and then when I look at it again, it should be sorted in order. Okay, so I've got A, A, B, E, J, M, O, S, and W. Alright, so there's a couple things that you want to remember here. Number one is that once you have these people set in a particular cell on this table, don't move the location of that person during the year, because that location in this cell is specific to the giving that occurred from that person. So if I move Sue Anderson to John Doe, then whatever occurred with John Doe previously will now be attributed to Sue Anderson. So I don't want to do that. So then I guess what I'm trying to say is don't move names around in here. All right, unless you have come to the end of the year and cleared everything out, and there's no giving records at that point, then you can remove things around. But I really rely on this sorting here to sort your pick list. Okay, so I think the only other thing to say here is that, you know, to go to the various givers, you simply go to the pick list here and you pick Bill Gates, for example, and hit go. And then what that does is it goes to the correct sheet. I have it programmed to go to whichever sheet it needs to go to. And as you can see on the top, there's columns here. Essentially hid everybody else's column and showed you just giving for Bill Gates. And and then it showed the sum of receipts, which would be the sum of receipts for everybody, you know, during that period. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later here. And then you can hit exit to get back out of here. Alright, so that concludes setting up givers.